Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Tech Tip Tuesday. My name is Ken Close, engineer, lover of Healy, pioneer member since the beginning of time. I'm hanging out over here in our frosty Washington state, loving it, having a great time. And now I think that the Florida neck of the woods is getting a little example of what we might have in weather in our area. So I'm happy to be joined by some more. Uh, Bundled up guests today. I got our co-host Jake Barron, VP and Global Head of Operations for Healy. Hey Jake, how you doing?
Hello, Ken. Good day, everybody.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the call. And we've got our Global Head of Onboarding. We got Henry Pena also in the frigid Florida area. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, Cam. Welcome, everybody.
Nice to see you guys, and thank you very much for being here. And hey, thank you, audience, for being here as well. Hey, if you guys are brand new to Tech Tip Tuesday, well, that's awesome. Welcome. You're in for a treat. What we do here is we answer questions. You guys put your questions in the chat, and then we bring them live on the call and dissect them, solve them, and create deep dives into the solutions of them, which is a lot of fun. So, what we could talk about pretty much anything that has to do with the technology, the theoretical operations, the proven and scientific operations. We can talk about all kinds of stuff in the technical terms. We can't talk about anything medical, anything that has to do with disease, disorder, diagnosis, or prevention of diseases, or how it relates to Healy. That's just not part of what we're doing here. We do have resources we can point you to in case you want to maybe find out information about a specific condition. We can certainly point you in the right direction because Healy has it all. So hopefully that sounds like a fun thing for you guys. If it does, definitely light up the chat, give us some things to work on, and we'll get this party started. Right, guys?
Sounds
Let's
like
do
a good
this.
plan.
Awesome. And I don't know if you guys are any of you guys are football fans, but man, this weekend you got to get on that Super Bowl. My team's in the finals there. They're in the Super Bowl. Seahawks are everybody just say go Seahawks. All
Yeah, so
right.
if you don't have a team that you're cheering for, might as well go for Ken's team. So,
Might
There you
as
go.
well, right? Come on,
That,
guys.
that's me.
yeah,
That's me. That's me. Go
We'll,
Seahawks.
we'll
yeah,
take
go
the energy.
Seahawks.
We'll take the energy because everything is energy, right? And we talk about that all the time, right? Here's a good place to talk about energy because
Yeah.
everything is energy. And whenever you put your energy somewhere, that's where you place your attention. So I'll take all the attention on our team that we can get.
Nice.
Yay.
Uh,
Laura says, go Seattle. Woohoo. And by the way, guys, Frequencies and Friends was just yesterday. Hopefully you caught that. If not, recording is available to check it out. Some new specials, some new things coming up this month. The month
yeah,
of love, everybody.
I think it was just added this morning, it looks like. I was just looking here on our Healy World Learning Hub on YouTube. So um
Yeah.
we've got a couple of um couple of good things related to that. I was actually just going to share this here. So you see this one right here. We had 3 hours ago was added Healy Frequencies and Friends for February. It was a little, we had a lot to cover, right? It was a hour and 20 minutes long yesterday too, because there was so much new stuff going on there as well. Um, Actually, I did want to highlight one thing, which was I don't know if any of you saw this, but there's great content everywhere. You see, there's this whole manifesting series here too, this master class, which is great. But I wanted to highlight this one here, this master class with Martin Wittmann. Um, it was actually added. Oh no, wait, sorry, this one here, this one from 4 weeks ago. This product masterclass. It's available in multiple languages, but if you click on the English version, actually, which if you go to our playlist here and our product masterclass with Mark Whitman, this one, the 2025 highlights, which is a great video. This is available in German and also in English. But if you go to this video, and you'll see, click on the more section here. I mean, talk about a masterclass. Look at the content of this call here. We have basically how everything works, right? The fundamental principles of microcurrent, electromagnetic field structures, hydrogen bonds in complex water clusters, how the high wave harmonizes your body, understanding the information energy formula, quantum teleportation discoveries, quantum entanglement, Burkhardt-Himes information field model, how the Healy interacts with that information field and the body, quantum nature of physical noise generators, David Bohm's implicit order, understanding information field entanglement, Healy patented technologies, studies, and certifications, integrating all Healy levels into one ecosystem, exploring the Analyze Meridian module for MagHealy, exploring the Analyze Aura module, and rediscovering your authentic self. I mean, that's a lot of stuff right there as well. But of course, Martin Wittmann always does a great job explaining these things and kind of easy to understand fashion there too. So I'll put the link into the chat for this particular video. But it's a great overview, and again, it's titled Healy 2025 highlights here.
Yeah, put your thinking cap on, because it's definitely going to put you into probably some things you hadn't thought of before. Just the portion about understanding the types of current, right? The flow of energy. To understand what's available out there, because there's so much that we don't see. We use our senses to integrate with our world, but it's what you don't see that's actually building the model, right? The part you do see is the end result. This is what most people don't understand. We're building a model. The end result is what you see now, but there's the building part before that. So all that's energy.
Yeah. So again, this was added a couple of weeks ago, but it kind of snuck in there when a lot of people were still getting back from the holidays and whatever, maybe missed it, but definitely wanted, again, the content or the topics can be quite complex, but so maybe you just want to watch a couple segments at a time over the next week or so as well. Definitely that's an option too, and the hyperlinks within the description make that easy to do.
To let your brain assimilate for a minute. I love it. Nice stuff. And that whole channel, by the way, is just chocked full of content. The Healy world, the learning hub is great.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have any questions yet. You guys, it's a quiet crowd out there. So there's the link, by the way, in the chat. If you guys
Everyone's frozen, Ken, I think. Everyone just not frozen as far as their screen is frozen, but they're just frozen, I think.
Right. Interesting patterns we're having in terms of our weather. No, it's for the Pacific Northwest. It's not much new. It's still winter time.
Yeah.
But other parts of the country that aren't used to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do get the opportunity to acclimate. We get set in our ways sometimes. And again, this is where Healy comes in, is to help give new waveforms, new patterns, new information into the body. It's all information, and frequency is a form of information. And when we inform the body through a frequency, it biologically conforms and adjusts and becomes. Like I mentioned a minute ago, what you see and what you're living in, what you're walking around in, what you're moving with is the end result of a lot of activity. 400 or 800,000 cells per second being reproduced. And so that's the end result. And we're able to interact with that, interface with that. We do it all the time, but the majority of the time people are just in default mode. Like, I don't know, maybe you're just, getting ready for work. You go to work, you do your job, you come home from work, you end your day, and then repeat tomorrow. And at some point, maybe there's some disturbance, some things you don't like in your life, don't want in your life, whether that disturbance is something physical, emotional, financial, whatever it is. this disturbance comes in, and that's a frequency. That's an end result of action. It's an end result of thought, an end result of frequencies that one is becoming coherent with. And so this is where again, and watch the stuff you can get, you can tolerate mentally from Martin Wittmann. It's a lot of information, but watch it. Let your subconscious absorb that, because what we learn from just our senses is incredible. We're aware of 400 billion bits of information per second. Now that's the reticular activating system, which is our entire nervous system and awareness process, everything. We have this huge scope of understanding. Now, what we're conscious of, what we're seeing with our eyes, hear with our ears, smell with our nose, and taste and feel, that's a smaller bandwidth of that information, about 2,000 bits. Okay, so 400, so there's billions and billions of bits of information, and then what we're aware of is a fraction of that. Yet all of that information is building these bodies in every second to that tune of what, 800,000 cells per second, right? So when we learn new information, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, it still assimilates into that end result. So just by watching a video, just even if you don't really understand the content, but you're watching the video, right? You're sitting there, you're involved. Maybe you're texting at the same time. Maybe, the dog's barking in the background. Maybe you're cooking dinner. I don't know. But the point is remember I said 400 billion bits of information per second? You could be multitasking and still information is going into the brain. And you'll be surprised at what you download within this mental awareness just by watching the video. You may not understand the words, you may not understand the science, but the context of the information will be assimilated within your awareness. And you, as the consciousness, whatever level of speciality you're in, will make sense of it. And so, even if it's not something you'd ever thought you'd watch, give it a shot. Give it a shot. All right. We don't have much too many questions here, guys. Um, Man, it's a quiet crowd out
Yeah.
there. Like you said, they're frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could, a couple updates that I shared on Frequencies and Friends yesterday for those of you that couldn't watch it. The animal kit itself, so the physical animal kit is no longer available in our Healy shop. So, it's something that we've gotten feedback over the years on it. And we really just wanted to come out with something at some point in the future. There's nothing, no dates or anything that can be announced or anything at this time, but we're really the big focus is kind of simplifying everything related to Healy, the products, how you use them as well. And a lot of people have found it difficult in the past to put the animal kit on their pet or whatever because of the fur and getting the proper connection and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people default to just using the coil with with animals, which is great too. The coil has a lot of benefits that we've all kind of seen and experienced too. So basically the physical animal kit no longer available. But of course we are pets and animals in general are a priority going forward for Healy also. We just want to come out with something that makes it easier for everybody to support their animals in the future. But the animal module, the programs itself, nothing changes with that. That's still available for purchase. Whether you had it on a subscription or a lifetime, it's still there, and you can continue to use your coil with animals in the meantime. If you have an animal kit, you can actually continue to use it with your animals. Also, just the kit itself won't be available for sale in its current form going forward.
Yeah, that's just another optional way of connecting the microcurrent to something, right? From an engineering perspective, I am very versatile in the way I apply certain things. The animal kit itself, comes with those sponges that you could wet. And if you guys have that kit, you can still use it, like Jake said. But the cool thing is about that sponge and then the conductor itself that slides in there allows you to transmit microcurrent into anything, really anything that's conductive. And you can do the same thing with the wristbands. So the wristbands, because they are a pliable, conductive silicon material, And so you can actually moisten the trunk of a plant and the branches of a plant. And you can moisten those and wrap those around there, and you can get actual microcurrent into a plant, right? If that's something that you want to do, and then uh, to put microcurrent into water, you can do this to take the sticky pads, and I've done this in the past. We've talked about it a little bit. You take the sticky pads themselves and you stick them to, say, a butter knife, two butter knives, sticky pads. Put them in the water. Don't touch at the bottom, but to put them on each side of the glass. Turn the microcurrent on, and you're putting microcurrent into the water. You're putting electron flow into the water, right? What's on an electron? Electron flow when it's on your body or on the stem of a plant or in water. An electron is filled with information. It's information. And that information then assimilates and it populates whatever it's running through as a current. It's running through that. So you're putting information into water. And of course, our MagHealy has the water module where you can imprint information into the water in that regard as well. But just know that there's some versatility there with the sticky pads, the wristbands, and then if you do have that animal kit, there's some versatility. You can do some other things. All right. Um, we still have any questions, guys? Anything you want to share, Henry? What's been happening in the onboarding world? Is that progressing? Are you
Yeah,
busy?
I would say so. Yeah, lately I've been having a couple of sessions lately. Usually just keep. I mean, I think for the most part, I just want to remind everybody that these onboarding sessions are available on our YouTube channel, just like we shared earlier in our Healy World Learning Hub. You can always access them there directly if you want to watch a pre-recorded version. But I always encourage people to also sign up for these calls because that way you can get all of your questions answered. So it's a really good way, especially if you know people who are new to Healy, you want to introduce them to Healy. I don't really think there's a better way to introduce them to Healy than through these onboarding calls. Again, it's usually a one-on-one interaction. People ask me usually many, many questions, and I ensure that they leave the webinar knowing everything they need to know about Healy, as well as the resources that they need to know of if they want to continue learning on their own, whether it's a Healy Academy or YouTube channel, reaching out to us via our virtual assistant Harmony on our website. So it's just a really good tool, great tool that I always tell people. I mean, it's there, so you might as well use it, take advantage of it.
And think about that, guys, what Henry just said. So there's the pre-recorded versions, right? And let's say that you're brand new to Healy, right? And you're just super excited, but you know it works for you. You've studied some of the information yourself, but trying to reproduce and tell that information sometimes is a little tough, right? And then when you get a question from somebody that you don't know the answer to, then you're like, I want to be able to help out. So these are great things to share as like just an introduction, an onboarding thing. Say, here's how it works. Are you able to explain it? Well, if not, let Henry do it.
Mhm.
Right? He's used to that. All right. I know when it comes to, the social selling market or the networking market, as we're out there sharing what we love, and it's no different than if we went to an amazing restaurant and we want to share our experience at the restaurant or a movie. And how many of you guys have went to a movie and you just love the movie so much and you want to tell all your friends, you got to go see this movie. You got to go, right? You're excited about it because it gave you some kind of an experience. It's the same thing with Healy. When you get an experience and you find value in something, a movie, a dinner, a Healy, you find value in something. Um, your heart wants to share. This is the normal way that we are as humans. We want to share. We want to give the same value to someone else. And so, when it comes to that, Healy's a great tool, a great thing to share because it's so versatile. It matches everybody. And when you know people in your lives that are struggling with something, then Healy has a solution. It has a way of realigning you. And when I say realignments, uh, a realignment is just a coherence, right? What got you out of alignment is incoherence, something that happened in your life along your journey. knocked you off the path of health or vitality or something. You got knocked off the path. Okay. Well, you may not be able to, you can't go back and change that trajectory shift, but you can change the body in the ways in which it's interfacing with it. You can build new coherence. You had a new level of understanding, a new level of health or some kind of disorder, right? Now you can put it back into order. Healy has the frequencies to do that. So I think it's important that when we have an experience that and we see others in our lives, and naturally, I think that we want to help. Then being able to explain it, we've got tools, and Henry's one of those opportunities to get that explanation detailed for you. And as you saw, Jake was giving all kinds of information there on the Learning Hub YouTube channel. Oh my gosh. Be specific though, because somebody could get pretty overwhelmed. Don't throw them right into a master class, maybe with Martin Wittmann, but there's some introductions. There's some Healy for Beginners and Beyond episodes. We've explained many things that are still current. You can go in there and see the things there. And there's other tools in that channel that you can use to, just give somebody an idea of what's going on. So Jake, what do you think is the best, I don't know, short and sweet and to the point tool to give a new person, somebody just right off the street that's like, man, I trust my friend and but how do I know a little bit about Healy?
I think if you don't have time for one of Henry's onboardings, so say you only have 10, 15 minutes, whatever thing, I think if you're already talking about the Healy device, there's the video in Academy, the first steps with Healy and MagHealy, which gives a good general overview of all the different ways to use it and how. But I've always liked in Healy Academy, in the Healy 2 section, there's a video that talks about how the Healy programs work. And it talks about the different modes, real-time resonance selection and that kind of thing. And then it goes into how it's assigning the frequencies from the frequency pool also, too. Because I think for most people, a lot of times, they'll start with the Healy 2 app and the programs and hook up to the wristband electrodes and kind of get that sort of feeling there too. So I think understanding, okay, you see the frequency changing on the screen and it's going through this part about how the progress indicator and that kind of stuff, and kind of understanding what's going on behind the scenes, to me has always been helpful, as far as how does it know what frequency to give me? And if Ken runs that same program, how does it know to give Ken different frequencies and Henry different frequencies than me when we're all running the same program? Too. I think that's part of the cool things and one of the unique things about Healy itself, because that's not the way it is with a lot of companies out there. There's a lot more these days operating in the frequency space where if you run a program, everyone's getting the same frequencies. There's no individualized component to it.
Yeah, that's so true in the biohacking world, scientific world. I mean, I'm in those events. I've actually spoke at the biohacking conference in the past. And there's tons of technology out there, and they have an on button and a timer. Normally, there's an on button and a timer, right? And then whatever's within that time is broadcast out, no matter who's in front of the apparatus. It's pretty much a plug and play. But not single one of us out there in the universe are the same. None of us. It's incredibly different. We are all incredibly different. So it's great that something has a biofeedback, an interface system of some sort, and this Healy does. So Laura's got a question or a comment, first of all, about running the cosmic growth. It's amazing because the full moon just passed, and then she was born on a full moon. So it's an awesome, powerful program. But there's a question here about wondering what happened to the general protection program. So nothing. The bioenergetic defense page, right on the bioenergetic defense page, is still the general protection program is on there as well as other ones that are within that arena. But they're still there on the from the Healy 2 app, the pink app, right? It's in there. Go to bioenergetic defense, general protections right at the top. And remember, those are the type of programs that you don't necessarily need to be connected with. Don't need a coil, don't need to have the electrodes. Just put the device, the Healy, in your pocket, on your body, near your body. You can even be sitting next to it, right? But it's in your proximity. Now, you can't be. It's not recommended that you're more than 3 feet away from it, but it's designed to be on your body. Okay. Um, so anyway, so it's there. Yeah, definitely take advantage of those. To be honest with you, you can connect to the wristband electrodes and run those programs with the microcurrent. You're still getting that infusion, that assimilation too. So they work. I mean, I'm from a engineering brain perspective, I'm always expanding the idea and what can we do? What more can we do with this? And I've done it in many different ways with that bioenergetic defense page. Everything from being connected via the electrodes, and believe me, you're still getting microcurrent. So yeah, works good. Okay.
And the only thing to keep in mind when it comes to the Bioenergetic Defense Program Group, guys, is that this is one of those advanced program groups where you will only have access to them if you have a Healy Professional Edition. So it will not be included in anything lower than the Healy Professional Edition. So just something to keep in mind. If you notice that you're missing the Bioenergetic Defense Program Group, it may be due to the Healy Edition that you own. So just a consideration.
Yeah, good point, Henry. Because Healy has many additions to fit your particular needs. And if you started with a basic edition or a gold edition, you know, great stuff there, and you can add these program groups to that. But maybe, again, everyone got their Healy for a reason. They were probably referred by someone. Again, maybe like I mentioned before, there was an amazing value that someone saw, introduced it to you. You love what you found. Got, within your comfort zone. I don't know what I want. I don't want to spend a big bunch of money. I'm going to start here. But it's upgradable. So you can move that edition all the way up to the professional very easily. So, so if you've outgrown it, upgrade it.
Or if you ever want to try something, remember that there are also subscriptions available. So if you just want to try something, you're not ready to make a greater investment. For example, by energetic defenses, we're talking about is $16 a month. So if what you want to do is try it maybe a couple months, see if you like it, specifically, because of the feature that Ken mentioned of being able to use it without any accessories, having programs like that one, the general protection program, and just general programs that are designed for sensitive people, it's a great choice. So again, you can always go to our shop and subscribe to any of those program groups, and remember that you will get discounts depending on how many subscriptions you get. So that's another thing to keep in mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
and actually the we're talking about subscriptions too. Like I think a lot of people don't. It's not people don't normally realize if you start say with one of the lower editions, kind of getting used to frequencies, gold edition, holistic, whatever. You can not just program groups that you can subscribe to. You can subscribe to entire modules too. Like you can subscribe to the resonance module with your gold edition and have access to the Analyze 2 app and run a resonance analysis as well. You can subscribe to the Aura module. Same thing too. So, if someone wasn't sure if I want to upgrade or not, and there's actually a 60% off upgrade promo this month, which is a great deal there too. You can, some of these things you can try out. If you want to try it out for, a month, sure. But if you want to just try it out quickly for a week or something like that to make sure you want to go through with the upgrade, it's very easy to do through the Healy shop.
love it. Flexibility. You can tailor make your Healy.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. We have a comment here. So Dory says this is from I think last week. The hard reset suggestions helped with my non-blinking problem. Thank you. You're very welcome. So we love it when solutions, suggestions help and create fixes. So we talked about a hard reset process for resetting kind of the charge sequence within a Healy. We talked about that last time and how to kind of go through a process of kind of resetting things. So So it worked. Good. I'm glad that you're back in business. I've never really accepted, well, not never really. I never accept failure. It's not a failure, it's a learning experience, right? If something's not working, that's not a failure, it's a learning experience. So let's learn more, let's expand what we know and see if that expansion then now envelops a solution, right? That's the way that I like to work anyway. And I think that if, as we move forward, I mean, we've just think about what we've learned the last 5 years with Healy, right? And how much expansion has happened. And, you know, Jake was just talking about Martin Wittmann's master classes and things. The expansion, what he's talking about there is science, studies and things that have been done within the Healy organization. Marcus is always writing papers. I'm on um, a channel. I'm on a mailing list where published papers are posted all the time, and they're from scientists and experts all over the world. And Marcus is in there. I tell you, I kid you not, with a paper probably every other month, at least every quarter. There's a paper published in this group, which envelops tons of science. And so he's constantly working at it to improve the understanding and the science, not just within the organization of Healy, but the world, because everything is energy. And I don't think very much of the world knows that. To be honest with you, I don't think that if we were to walk down the street today and just randomly start chatting with people about, hey, do you know what energy is? They'd be like, most people relate it to how they feel right now. Yeah, I know what energy is. At the end of the day, I have none, and I'm ready for bed. Um, but we're talking about energy in sense of fields and frequency and how it interfaces with these human bodies. And so science is now giving a lot of information to the general public. I think you're seeing more and more. I don't very much watch regular television because of all the commercials and the advertisements and all that stuff. Um, and I've been involved in backgrounds of in an environment where the TV is on or something. I'm not watching, I'm doing something else, but I can hear an episode of or a commercial or something about something. And I'm getting a trend. I'm hearing more and more of these commercials putting things around coherence and energy and how one feels in their body. And this is not new. This is not old stuff. This is really new. How these marketing techniques are now going into that rabbit hole, right around energy and trying to market whatever they're selling and talk in a language that now is becoming more and more known around energy and coherence and the field. We got a lot of catching up to do in the general public, I think, but my gosh, Healy's doing a great job of educating. Marcus and the staff is doing a great job of educating. Um, the marketing world is very, very precise in their tuning. Words and visualization give you an impression about whatever they're trying to give you, sometimes ram down your throat. um, but make sure that we're protecting our own energy. There's a lot of stuff on broadcast television that may not be serving your energy well. One of the things that I coach all my clients around is minding your mind, right? This fertile ground within your brain will grow poison just as easily as it will grow a good crop, right? So it's fertile ground. What goes in tends to start to manifest, and we need to really mind that. All right. We don't have very many questions, guys. I'm just kind of going down rabbit holes here.
Well, yeah, no, this sometimes, we can go down these rabbit holes and have these other discussions as well, share some tools and whatnot. The reminders too are always helpful. So,
Yeah, I love it. Let's see, we have a comment here. Learn more from all of the Healy, the info Healy shares with us, I want to share the wealth of info from the Healy's with it's the frequencies with friends, assuming. Let's
No, I
see.
think it's Healy Worlds meets the world, I believe.
Oh, Healy World meets the world. Okay. Is there a
Hmm.
replay for that? Um,
So actually, there's for that particular meeting, there's not. Sometimes that's one of the few meetings we have where you kind of have to be there live to see and learn from that particular one. Sometimes later on, some of the segments get released, maybe individually, something like that. But in general, like a replay of the whole meeting itself is not usually shareable. And so far, from what I understand, this particular year, same policy there too, and that it's not. There's not going to be the whole recording posted on the YouTube channel, but there could be parts maybe that are used in different areas at some point in the future.
yeah, there's great speakers, in presentations. Um, yeah, it's try to get you there live, right? And I know what I've been to so many events that I'm like, dang, I wish I could have had so and so here and so and so here. I
Yeah.
could, there's about 20 people I wish would hear what I'm hearing right now. And that's, you were meant to hear it in that moment for a specific reason. And that's because now you've got some knowledge to go and share. And how would you then migrate anyone that you think should hear this towards a tool that could then benefit them? Because each speaker, each presentation has content, bits of information that, again, that are probably out there within our Healy World resource pool. And because again, unless a new product is launched, then the information is still information that we already know, that we've already put out there. It's just maybe from a different angle. But when new products come out, then there's a whole bunch of new information and experts that come and talk about that. And so there's an expert that's talked about so many things already. I know uh, certain when the products come out, then there's usually an expert that's presenting it, right? Um, let's see.
Uh, um, this is okay. Got a couple questions rolling in now. People have defrosted here. I got a couple more. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, slow down. Slow down.
Let's keep them
Okay.
rolling. Okay, so
No.
here's one. It says, let's see, you've got a presentation to about 30 people on Saturday. I'll have only one Healy to do one demo for 1 to 2 attendees. What program would you most likely um, to be felt after just one session? So so Healy, again, this is a great question because how do we know, what's going to have the most effect? We want to be most effective in the moment. And I think so. The way that we present anything, no different than, say, a movie we loved or a restaurant we enjoyed, is that what did you feel? What is your passion? What is it that drew you into Healy, right? And what did you experience from the Healy? What programs were most resonating with you? Programs, plural. So everybody starts with the basic edition. Let's just say if we go back to the fundamentals, the basic edition is the gold edition, yes? And there's 7 programs on there on the gold page. And they're kind of set in a, I like to look at them as a, a spiral, right? And you start at the top and you move yourself around that page. And so that could be your fundamental basis. It's got to be simple, in my opinion, and we talk about this a lot. When we're presenting information, it must have a value to it, one that you feel in your heart, right? And then it also must be simple. It can't be too complicated. And I've been, you know, I'm guilty of being the documentary where I need to be the cliff notes sometimes instead. We go down some deep rabbit holes. But just starting it with the gold cycle page, and you've got those programs on there, which is, balance and being. Balance is one of those things that probably speaks to anybody. Why? Well, just walking into a room, your energy field is bombarded by the rest of the room. What was left there from the people who were there before, or from the ones that are there now, or both. And so balance is a great way of integrating coherence with you. So that's a pretty decent one. If you're going to be using the coil, then the sensation is going to be perceived from their awareness. We just talked about earlier about everything is energy, and not everybody is aware of this energy. I do a lot of testing with clients in terms of testing the autonomic nervous system. And people are so unaware of how stressed out their body is because they've just made it normal. They've normalized these high functioning, stressed out bodies. And that's not good. And so when you give them something that's comforting, it's like it's got to overcome all this other imbalance. So um, if you're going to do an experience with somebody, my suggestion is number one, make it later, get people to settle down, right? You've got these 30 people in the room, do a little breathing, do a little settling in, relaxation techniques, get everyone on the same page. Um, Present the need out there in the world, present the solution, and then give the example, right? So once you've done that, people are more receptive. Here's my need. Yes, I have a need. Here's the solution. Oh, thank you for sharing. And then you can give this example. But make it simple, make it accessible to everyone. So don't choose a program that's on an edition that may not be within someone's desire, right? So that's where the gold cycle page comes in great. Everybody's going to get that. All right. And believe me, if you're using the microcurrent, uh, you feel that. I mean, it's a tangible, visceral experience. Um, when we've been on the road many times. I remember when Healy launched across the US, there was a whole experience day. I mean, how many people were trying to get there, Jake? We had like 50 people.
Yeah, we had a bunch of demos and we'd cycle through them 3 or 4 times per meeting.
Yeah, yeah, and we just hook them up, and the ideal way to do that, what we did was we would load the app on their phone on their device, and then link it to the Healy, hook them up, and let them have an experience. They go into the event, they're running the program, and they bring it back to you at the end. It was incredible, you know. Um, you've got some early responders, people that are very sensitive to things, making sure that you put it within their boundary. But then you have some that are kind of late bloomers that say, I don't know if I felt anything or not. Being able to deal with that full spectrum is important. And managing expectations is the number one benefit to success. When you give someone an understanding that this is energy, right? Whatever conditions are in your body, they've taken years to get there. You're not going to fix it in one session. Let them know you're not going to fix it in one session. But if we can balance your autonomic nervous system, we can bring you back into rest and digest, down regulate that stress response, your body's going to heal itself. And that's what Healy helps us do, build coherent signals to heal itself. So keep that in mind when you're presenting. Okay. Let's see. Here's another question. Does a Healy Professional take longer to charge than a Healy Gold? No. The hardware itself, this little guy, right, is the same hardware. No matter what edition you have, it's the same hardware. All you're doing is activating different levels of editions in the app. Okay, it's the app that interfaces with the hardware. Hardware is the same no matter what edition you get. The only difference really is between getting the Obsidian, which is black, and even the Obsidian is still the same internal hardware as the other editions. It's just different color casings. So, so no, it's no different. Charging is the same. Okay. All right. Let's see. Zoom users asking, is there a limited time to get customer support for my damaged MagHealy? Well, customer support's available forever. If you're going to replace it, then yes, there is a warranty period.
Yeah, for MagHealy and the Healy device is 2 years warranty on those two. So uh, yeah, as Ken mentioned, if it's out of warranty too, if it's been 3 years, we'll still do provide you with support and troubleshooting, that kind of thing too. But if it ends up being where it can't be fixed via regular troubleshooting, needs to be replaced, then at that point have to pay the replacement fee, not the full cost of the order, but the replacement fee. And actually, for MagHealy, there is something new coming soon. We haven't announced it yet, but there's now going to be an option starting in the US to get the battery replaced for the MagHealy. So rather than spend, I think the replacement fee for MagHealy is around $730, something like that too. So the hardware. So even if you spend $3,000, you can buy a brand new one with a brand new 2-year warranty for 730. But we're going to provide an option for cheaper, for $149. You'll be able to we'll send you a shipping label, prepaid shipping label. We'll have it sent back to our office here. We'll inspect it. We'll open up your device. If it's determined that it is the battery, which is the most common reason for some sort of warranty claim or issue, we will replace the battery, seal everything back up, test it, and then send it back to you at no extra charge as well. And then that repair, basically the battery will have it doesn't extend the warranty on the whole device, but the battery itself will have a 90-day guarantee as well. If anything were to happen again with your MagHealy that's battery related too. So for those of you that maybe were holding off and not wanting to pay for a new MagHealy, new replacement, that kind of thing, we're going to give the option to, again, kind of do an inspection, a replacement as well for a lower cost at $149 there. So
and when does that
it'll be a
start?
little bit easier if it's out of warranty and we do determine that it is the battery.
And when does that start, Jake? Is it available yet?
I don't. There's not an official date. It'll be sometime this month though.
Right on. Yeah. Okay. Starting in February, you guys.
Yep,
You heard it first here, right? It's not like Jake
exactly.
said,
There's a benefit
hasn't
of coming to Tech Tip Tuesday. Sometimes you're the first to know.
hasn't been told anywhere else. So good job.
No.
Let's see. So, let's see. Back to that question about what to use with the 30-person event on Saturday. You like the idea of balance. Good, thanks. And then using coil, going to use the coil unless the cables that you ordered arrive on time. So good. Yeah, the coil is another option to. We didn't have the coil when we went across the United States. We had the wristbands and did microcurrent. And so, a little more setup to get that going than just having a coil. So coil's going to be handy. Good job. All right. Let's see. Zoomer's asking, this is just Zoom user. I put it together, by the way. Zoomer. I know that's not your name, but anyway, what's the link to view the Healy February events? Are the links for each of the events in the February calendar? So yeah, can we put that link in there? The Healy
Yep, I'm on it.
calendar,
I'm
Healy
on it.
calendar
Yeah.
link. Yeah.
And for those of you that aren't sure what we're talking about here, this is what that calendar looks like. You have it actually changed in the last month or so, kind of a refreshed look, which is nice. But you have all the different events coming up, and then the calendar kind of shows on the left when there's something going on. You'll see there's a Super Saturday actually coming up on Saturday, February 21st. And then on the right section here, these are all hyperlinks. So you click on these, it'll link directly to either to join the meeting if there's no registration required. If there is registration required, it'll take you to the page to register for that particular event. So
Yeah, it was fun. I actually used that for frequencies and friends. I just used the calendar. I just clicked on it, and it took you right to the registration. You put
Yeah.
your email in there, name, and then boom, you're registered. Um, Sometimes it's easier just to go there because they're all in one place, right? Instead of, go back and where was that email that I got? Dang, I got it because I get tons of emails, right?
Yeah.
So it can get buried quick. So that's a good spot. So HealyAmericasEvents.com. And Henry put it in the
Hmm.
chat there, guys. So, and by the way, if you're on your PC or laptop, actually, if you're even on your phone, you click on that link right now, it'll take you right there and you can go and test it out. And then once you're there, you can actually bookmark it, copy and paste it, save it, whatever. You're already there and you don't have to worry about having this chat. But if you do want to save the chat, by the way, I tell people every time at the top of the chat box there where it says Healy Tech Tip Tuesday, there's three little dots. Tap on those three little dots. If you're on your PC or your laptop or your Mac, you will get a little menu drop down that says Save Chat. Click on Save Chat. At the end of our call, you'll get a message at the end of our call that says, what you can do with that file. All right. And you'll have all the questions and links and such in there. Okay. Where are we at? Let's see. There's the link. So Laura says that Martin said last year, care and release are some of his favorites. And Laura says mine too. So again, where are those? Those are on the Gold Cycle page, right? And that's why Martin's going to recommend these programs that are on the entry level or basic edition so that everybody can have those. And if we're looking at release is one of those programs when your body is holding on to emotional trauma or holding on to toxins or holding on to whatever, release is one of those ways of letting go. And I have had clients that use the release program and they are eliminating. So at an event with 30 people, you may not want to use release just in case it's releasing things and they have to run off to the bathroom. And remember, there are early responders. There are bodies who respond easily and quickly to a frequency. And so, you may get the urge to let go. Or if it's an emotional release, that could be an emotional release, right? So care is an amazing one. I love care because, man, it just feels like you're getting a big hug. So just some care going on. So yeah, great suggestions, Laura. Thank you. So Zimmer saying, hey, the clip broke off two of my Healys. Is there any way to fix those? Is there a lanyard case available to use with these broken Healys? Um, that reduced price will be really helpful because it may be past a 2-year warranty. So yeah, there are lanyards. Are those available in the shop yet? Uh,
No,
I don't
there's
know.
not an official lanyard available from Healy Corporate. There are some, if you search for that online, you might find some third-party sites and options like that that sell them, but not from the actual Healy shop itself.
Yeah, so and they've been giveaways. If you guys have been
Yeah.
on some of the Tech Tip Tuesday, quarterly events, then there's giveaways, and so some folks have earned them, and so you could see them during those episodes. You can go back and actually watch those on YouTube. But anyway, as far as a broken off clip, and if your case is an older one, and it had the plastic clip on the back. This is the model that has the plastic clip, right? And if the clip breaks, there's not a replacement. Um, if it hasn't damaged the casing up here, sometimes when they break, if it's the plastic one I'm talking about, if they when they break, they just break the plastic tab itself, but not the casing, and you still have a pin like in a watch band pin, and you could put like that particular Healy came with a little tab as well, that you could put the tab in and then you hang it from a necklace. Okay. So if that's the one you have, it's got the option to go from the clip to the tab. It changes out on that casing. If it's the metal clip and you broke the metal clip, that probably broke the casing. Those metal clips are in there very well. Um, it's, I don't know, Henry, maybe you've seen him. I've never seen a metal clip actually break. I've seen them, they break the casing if it's that bad, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've never really seen like the metal clip itself breaking, but yeah, same thing with the casing. So sometimes, usually, I would say most cases you will need to replace the Healy unless it's one of the plastic ones, and even though sometimes the actual casing can break.
Yeah. But if the Healy's still working, you just don't have a clip, then the lanyard's a great solution. And as Jake said, there are aftermarkets out there that you can just Google or search Healy lanyard or Healy case, and there'll be someone linked in there. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Another question here. What is first application in deep cycle programs? So, so depending on what you have, deep cycle H, right? It's really similar to the what's the other one? The bioenergetic vitalization, where we're regeneration one, two, and three. So this is a series of ramping your body up to prepare it for microcurrent, for just understanding that information. Remember, these bodies have never had that before. Like if you've never used microcurrent, if you've never used Healy before, the body has not had that experience and it's going to be new. And so in that deep cycle, that was designed to get someone assimilated, familiar, get the body familiar. And that was just one, two, and three. And so you use them in sequence, one, two, and three, like that. And you can do it in one day, spread them out. I always recommend everyone spread their Healy program out an hour at least, right? And then ground your body after each program, hydrate your body, move your body, allow that information to be assimilated deeply into your nervous system and into the tissues of your body before you do another one, especially when you're brand new. And so, Jake, go ahead. You put that up there.
Yeah, I just, while you were talking, I always like to refer people back to the Healy app manual too, because it does provide some details in there. Like, for example, for Deep Cycle, it talks a little bit about, Jan Frederick Polzinski, who created this particular program group, and the reason why he created it too. It talks about the background as well. But if you're asking specifically about the first, second, third application here in this section, you'll see, as Ken was talking about, at the first application to establish a connection and to get a feeling for frequency applications, to get yourself ready for this too. And it also is for deep cycle, it actually has affirmation and intention that goes along with each of those programs. And then you see the second application. At the second application, unless the first application was too intense. And then third, as soon as you're ready for more, to kind of guiding or slowly letting you getting used to this type of frequency application. And then, as Ken was talking too, also there's deep cycle, and then there was a slightly different version that came out a year or two after. But the only difference between those two groups is the first three programs. So the original was first, second, and third application, and then the newer one, you'll see basically it says here the deep cycle first, second, and third applications are not contained in deep cycle. It used to be called deep cycle H. Everything's just deep cycle now. Instead, we recommend using the sensitive IMF program for users who are new to frequency modulated microcurrent applications. And then here, so this is the replacement for first application, for second application, for third application here.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting if you take a look at the programs, the names may have changed, but the icon doesn't. And so it's the same, same, it's doing the same work.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Dory's asking about where's the link to that page. You can actually get to that through your app, but
Yeah, Yeah, you can get to it through the information section within the app, or go to back office, go to downloads, and go to the manuals filter, or go to Academy, go to downloads all the way at the bottom of the page, the downloads link. Same thing, search for manuals, and you'll see the Healy app manual there too. So I always like to have this downloaded and available for reference for like when these types of questions come up.
Yeah, and if you're on the pink app or the blue app at the bottom where it's got Info Center, click on that Info Center and you can go to downloads right there. You can go to the
Yeah.
guide, instructions for use. It's all in there, so it'll link you right over there. Um, the instructions for use. So that's what, like a 47-page owner's manual or something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
The,
it's
the, the Healy app manuals, this one's 48 pages. The instructions for use, I forget how many pages it is, but it's a longer
it's
one
like
as well. But yeah,
it's like 40 pages, and it's got
yeah.
it's got all the different instructions and such. But anyway, so from that app, you're able to go to the info center and get all that information.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're into our time here. And so Henry's put that information in there too about the Healy 2 app manual. Thank you guys for being here. I'm super happy you guys were here. And if this was beneficial, please share that information with others. Invite them to join us next week. Come in and bring your questions because that's what we're here for. We're here to serve you and to serve your Healy needs and expand your knowledge so that you can even be a better user and sharer, right? Sharing is caring, everybody. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks, Jake. Thanks, Henry. Appreciate you guys' time
Yep.
and stay warm over there in that sunny Florida.
We're trying day by day.
All right, guys. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye, everybody. Take care.